Well, good evening, guys. Welcome to the Outdoors Live. I hope everybody had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Gentlemen, Mr. Grant McIntosh, John, A&J Outdoors, how are y'all doing and how was your weekend?
Trying to get the dogs to simmer down here. But
don't worry about it.
My Alexa was freaking out right when we went live. That's why I don't know if you saw me behind the scenes. I had to run away real quick because it was screaming at me. My alarms are all stupid on that thing.
Doing good. A beautiful day. Been having some storms, a little bit of rain, but it was dry, so we needed some.
Yeah, we're going to have rain, it looks like, all week.
Yep.
All week here.
I am good with that. I have no problems with that. We don't get enough rain. My yard is looking amazing. My yard guys are like, since it was raining, they were on top of it, trying to jump in, get it done before it rained.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
Got some folks in the chat so far.
Farmall, Ben.
It is hooked up Backlash.
Danny, what's up?
What's up, Danny?
Farmall, of course. Ben's in the house. Danny fishing without boats here.
Yeah, I seen we hit the 100 subscribers on the channel, so thank you guys.
I didn't even see that.
I didn't even see that. Hey, cool.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. All right. Now let's just get 900 more, boys.
Yeah, right. We're almost there.
We're almost there.
Yeah, if you can share it out, please do. Appreciate it. Hit that thumbs up.
We need your friends and family in on this. You're showing off your photos, right? Like that's what we're spending like half of this show, sitting here looking at your photos, checking all this stuff out. Why are we doing that if you don't have your friends and family on here for us to show them off to? That's the whole point.
Good point. Yeah. That's a win. Good point there, Mr. Stanley.
That's my salesmanship right there. That's how I'm going to try to blast the channel.
Very cool.
We got some fun stuff to talk about tonight. We've got a couple of topics we're going to be looking at. Just a little spoiler alert here. And for everybody who's checking this after the fact, if you're coming in after it's no longer live, we appreciate you coming and hanging out with us. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. Please consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. Tonight, we're going to be talking about, we've got boat wrecks and safety stuff, but we're going to have some fun with looking at some like boat accidents and stuff like that. We've got eating illegal fish, prohibited fish species is happening on YouTube right now. And then we've got Lea Ann Powell, who just set a crazy, like another crazy record bass thing that's been going on here in Texas for a couple of months now. We're going to be getting into all of that. Would you guys like to just dive right in?
Sure. I'm down.
I want to experiment with something. We didn't have a lot of time before John hates it when I do stuff like this. We didn't have a lot of time right before, so we're going to experiment with something real quick, but I want to test this. I got to see how this goes. Yeah, I want to see if we can make this work or not, because I had a lot of fun with this. Okay, let's take a look at some boat accidents and see, and so that we all are on the same page with with what I'm talking about.
Oh, Lord, these people.
Now, yes, okay, so this is what I needed to check, was whether or not we have audio. Would you guys mind in the chat making sure, would you mind letting us know if you can hear what I'm saying right now?
I know I can hear you, so they should be able to.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So, yeah, this is a whole lot of awesome going on right here. This is about the dumbest move I've ever seen in boating.
It's so cringy. And it is.
Yeah, it is.
And there you go. They're on the rocks.
Just immediately. What, like they took that wave broadside. Why they're going out on a day like that, who knows? And walking out on the rocks to me is terrifying in this situation.
Yeah, and some of the back story for them. Okay, so they've had the boat for 3 days. This is their first day taking it out.
Yep, first time out.
Taking it out when there's a small craft advisory in effect for that area.
And there's your thing right there too.
Yeah. And obviously, the individual doesn't have boating skills at the level that you're going out in that condition. So they own this boat for 3 days, and now it's totaled on the rocks.
Yeah.
Hopefully they bought the insurance.
Yeah, it's amazing that people would think that you can get in this boat and go out without checking weather, without talking to anybody who's experienced in the area. It's already a bad pass that they were going through that, has a reputation. But then to go through it when it's 20 plus mile an hour winds and small craft advisory, and it's your first time ever taking the boat out.
Yeah.
Holy smokes, people.
I don't know, like that must be the first time they've ever been on a boat. To make a mistake like that to me is just so huge. Those, and it's not Haulover, or is it Haulover?
No,
it's
it wasn't Haulover.
Boca.
The Haulover's even worse, I guess.
Yeah, Haulover's really bad. All those little canals between along the coast. But yeah, Haulover, Boca, they're all bad. And you'd think that they'd have heard about it because of how famous it is. I mean, Wavy Boats is not the only one who does that, who sits out there with a camera. There's a dozen camera guys, a dozen channels that all just hang out there, and all they do is take photos of people ruining their boats.
Yeah. Sometimes you see somebody come through and do it. Sometimes you see them do a good job, right? But that doesn't sell the video. They want to see the video like we just saw. But man, when I first saw that, I was like, how in the world? And it's even before where they're going towards the other jetty, and then he's swinging back. It's like, turn into the wave. What are you doing? And then turning right by the rocks. I'm like, he had already been at the jetty across from there to the left of them. That's behind them now. And now they're coming across the front of this jetty that close. Taking waves from the side.
Yeah, at an angle. You could not have done this more wrong. Look at that wave. No. Like they're just right in the break zone.
They're done. Earlier, they were like waving at the train, hey, we're having a great time. And then all of a sudden they realize we're not having a great time.
Yeah, that's a bad day.
That is a really bad day.
And I don't have the rest of the video on here because there's a lot. This is a longer video. There's a link to it in the description if anybody wants to check out the whole video. But so this gentleman right here, they're all getting in and out of the boat. They're getting their stuff out, and he's standing. He almost lost his leg. One of those waves came while he's trying to get back and get his stuff out of the boat, and it almost washed that boat up on top of his leg on those rocks.
Big man's got to finish his beer too before he.
Well, you got to do that before you clear out the boat. I can understand that one. I mean, if you're going to go digging around for the tequila in the ice chest, you better at least finish your beer first.
So. That's a good what not to do. What's people in the crowd saying? Last time I was at Packery Channel, every boat heading out either turned around before getting out or came back 10 minutes later.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you go out and take a look, and if it's not right, you don't do it. And that's the problem. Obviously, they should have, from 100 yards at least away, seen how bad that was. And if they had any experience, they would have known, okay, guys, we're going to turn around. And we're going to stay inshore.
Right.
But nope. We got this new boat we just paid 10 grand for, and we're going to take it out here and bash it on the rocks our very first time out.
So the what ended up happening with that is they all got out on the jetty, and they called the I don't remember if they called Coast Guard or who it was, but whoever it was, they called a salvage company to come get that boat out of there for them to get it off the rocks. A salvage company. So this company comes in and takes boats. That's what they do professionally. And they said, we will get that boat off of the rocks for you for $6,000. Mm-hmm. And they, there's nobody else that can do it. Coast Guard doesn't do that. You have to have the salvage company. So they basically said no. Like they wrote it off. They weren't going to pay the $6,000.
Just abandoned
for that boat. They got less than a trip out of.
Yeah. But it's my understanding that they'll come after them, and if the government has to pull that boat off of there, they're going to end up having to pay for it because they'll take them to court over it. So.
They'll be lucky if they don't get some environmental fines for that because you're not allowed to leak oil and stuff like that in the ocean without paying a fine.
Right.
What's up, Daxton? Appreciate you coming and hanging out. We're discussing some boat accidents and stuff right now. We're going to move into some other topics here shortly. Jump on into the conversation, man. We appreciate your thoughts and insights. So yeah, the moral of the story: be safe. Don't make dumb decisions. That was the epitome of dumb, and there's not a single person here that's going to make anywhere near that kind of decision.
It's amazing. There's times when you think, man, there really should be some type of training required to own a boat. to captain a boat, even
Yeah.
your own private boat. I mean, you got to have a driver's license to drive your car down the street, but you can go buy a boat today, take it out on any body of water you want, and just go, not knowing any of the rules, how you're supposed to pass each other, or any of the safety stuff. It's just amazing.
True.
Next topic of conversation. We're actually moving it at a correct pace tonight. We've been slammed the last couple times. So next topic of conversation tonight, we're talking about eating prohibited species of fish. And what I'm referring to on that one is, so people are finally starting to catch Goliath grouper and eat them in Florida. That is a new thing you have not been able to do for like 30 years. Mm-hmm. And this one it set me off at first when I first saw the video, because everybody's talking about like the first Goliath grouper catch and cook. And of course they can't do that without posting, a picture of an insane fish like this. Like this is Stan's Fam was the video that I watched. Yeah. Bluegabe did the same thing, but they're catching these massive 300 plus pound grouper, the Goliath grouper. This is not legal. You are not allowed to eat this.
Right.
But this is the thumbnail of the video. And I saw this. I was like, no way. It's got to be 36 inches. That's the rule. You got, they got me exactly what they intended to do.
Yep.
Yeah. As soon as I saw that rod, first, and I got to say, look at the gunnels. If I don't have it on here. This is like a bay boat this guy's in.
Yeah.
This is their fish.
This is their inshore boat, but they take it out there once in a while. So.
Daxton, you're asking what's the worst boat accident I have seen? This is almost it right here. This dude is about to go in the water, and there's no getting you're going to lose the rod at the least. If he's got that thing strapped down, which you should have for a 300-pound fish, you need to be strapped to the boat.
Yeah, you can hang around any boat ramp or any lake. Labor Day, Memorial Day, any of those big holidays, 4th of July, and you'll see boat accidents. You'll see jet skis. Oh my God!
Yeah, jet skis are bad.
Real bad.
So the worst one I've seen was very similar to the one that we saw over here, but with a John boat. It was pretty much the worst one I ever saw, and I've seen 3 or 4 boats hit the rocks.
That's a nightmare.
It's scary.
That's my fear is be heading out the jetties on a rough day and lose power.
Yeah.
You don't have time to do anything. You're just going to go wherever the water takes you if you lose power. So that's just scary. Yeah, so I watched that video too. And the funny thing is at the end, they kind of made it sound like Goliath grouper wasn't all that good anyways. You know what I mean? If you watch when they actually ate it, they were all like, it's a little mushy. It's a little, so they had some steak there and they had some other fish too at the same time. But yeah, they said the Goliath grouper wasn't all that awesome. So who knows? I will never know. It's a drawing. So you got to draw a permit. It's in Florida, of course. You got to pay a lot of money.
It's $500 for one of those permits.
Wow.
So I will never find out.
Dude, Daxon is out hunting while he's watching this. Man, I cannot tell you how honored I am just to hear that somebody is hunting.
Don't scare the animals.
Yeah, I'll keep the voice down. Sorry. Thank you. That makes my day. Appreciate you, sir.
What are we hunting for?
Yeah.
Scully's in the house. Good to see you, Scully.
What's up, man?
So, Danny says his worst was he saw airboat plow through a group of kayakers.
Oh,
that ain't good.
Nowadays, you have TikTok and YouTube and all these shorts videos and stuff like that. You get to see so many horrendous things. I was surfing one time. I say the worst one was a John boat hitting the end of the jetty at Packery. That's not entirely the case. I was out surfing one time in the middle of a hurricane, a tropical storm. I got washed over the 4-day jetty. Like I was in the water on the beach side, and I got washed from that into the channel over the jetty at the end of it. Hit every rock across that damn jetty in 15-foot surf.
I can beat you out.
And I found God that day.
That golf farmer. I love watching kids get hurt.
Hey. Well, I mean, that's what they're there for.
Ouch.
That's what you had in, before there was YouTube and television, it was watching your kids get hurt while they were, playing stickball and falling off bikes, of course. He's going turkey with a bow.
No, that's going to be tough.
My mom says hunting for Brahma hump, so that's what my dad's all into right now is Brahma humps, briskets.
Okay.
Hey, Mom. So yeah, the whole thing right now, the big trend, and I feel bad not having gotten in on this, but I'm not like it's physically like that easy to do so, but this is something that's so high on my bucket list. Jewfish, Goliath grouper, whatever you call them. Man, I want to get into one of these and I want to try it so bad. I know they got to be. They're not going to be bad. Grouper is an amazing tasting.
That's fish. What I thought. Just about all grouper are good. Did you see the science part of it where they have to take clippings of the fin and they send it in? They got to put it in this little thing and send it into their whatever they are, DNR, whoever they are in Florida game. And so they can do research and studies on it. So that's kind of cool. They're finally giving anglers a chance. So it's expensive and hard to get.
Why they're going for those minis, I don't know.
Yeah, and they're getting some extra research out of it. So that's good. So maybe Texas and other states will follow suit. I don't know. I haven't seen too many people in Texas catch Goliath grouper.
Oh, they are here. They are here. Yeah. Yeah, they're in weird places. I'll tell you off camera, but they're in weird places you wouldn't expect to find them, and people don't fish for them, but they are there.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, I'd say you'd have to have a pretty good rig set up and back to reel in a 300-pound fish.
Yeah, exactly. He got two doe by him. He's calling him with a turkey call. You got retarded animals there? I mean, where are you hunting at?
I want to go hunting with this, right?
Yeah,
I want to be there with you right now.
Turkey call, and the deer come walking up to get pet. What's going on? Oh, that's hilarious.
That's awesome.
Oh, my goodness. So, you got any bucket list fish right now, Stanley?
Oh man, I've got some. I've got more now than I did 5 years ago.
What's your top? I want to get this fish. Number one target.
Probably like salmon.
Okay.
Something. It's hard to say because salmon, salmon or like even rainbow trout or something I desperately want. But I have to wait until midsummer, which I need to talk to you about. But we're talking about going to Wisconsin. I need to wait until then before I can do it. Right. If we're talking about something I'm going to get down here, it's going to be, man, probably Goliath grouper.
Wow,
probably the one.
Hooked up backlash said tarpon. Yeah.
I got a tarpon under my belt. The thing is, I've never landed one. I've hooked into several of them, but they're so hard to land because they're so good at throwing hooks.
Does it really count as having it under your belt if you didn't land it?
Yeah, the leader line touched
the
guide. Okay. Even if, so what if I'm using 150-yard leader? That doesn't matter.
Mom says swordfish.
Well, I got a swordfish under my belt, and that was number one, and I did get that one. At Marlin's on the list. I don't got one of those.
Mine right now, top of the list, which I hopefully will satisfy next week, is yellowfin tuna.
Yeah.
That's top of. There's a ton on my list because there's a lot of fish I have not caught, but yellowfin tuna is right up there at the top, and I'm going to get the chance hopefully next week. Janet's in the house. Hello,
hey, Janet.
Cheers. I'll take one, by the way, please.
Small water charter says, somebody who can put you on your PB bass.
If anybody's in the is it Lake Okeechobee?
Yeah,
that area. If you're looking to get onto a PB bass, I can vouch for that. Small water charters workaholic with the fishing over there.
Yeah, absolutely. It wouldn't take much to put me on a PB. I think my PB right now is like 4 pounds. So, but I've never really targeted bass.
Yeah, I have no idea how I've caught a few. I have no idea how big any. We didn't measure fish ever until I started doing YouTube. I mean, except for legality purposes.
Yeah,
tuna. So I was able to knock tuna off the list last year. I got my first tuna, and I had caught bonita before, which is a tuna. Got a bazillion of those guys, so it's not entirely accurate. But I had never caught one of the edible species. Last year, I finally got a blackfin.
Nice.
And that was the trip that I lost my camera.
There's no pictures. It didn't happen.
I still got pictures. Luckily, I had 2 cameras going. I just was missing the 1 camera. But yeah, I don't have yellowfin and I don't have bluefin. And I kind of feel like if you're going to start going for one or the other, you know, like if I'm saying I got blackfin on the list, that means I got to go yellowfin. Well, that means that bluefin is on the list. You know what I mean? And that kind of scary. That opens some scary doors for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of feel like just saying tuna. What's yours, Grant? What's your bucket list look like?
Actually, like 2 seconds before you said salmon, that's what popped in my head. So
yeah,
I'd like to catch one. I'd like to get up there to Wisconsin, Sheboygan, and get on playing hooky and catch some fish with him. That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah. That's one. It's so hard to pull these things together, but if and when we get to Wisconsin this summer, that is something that I'm really going to try to push for. John, are you going to Michigan this year?
Yeah, we're going. It's the last week of July, first week of August this time. We're going to start the renovations on the little house. So we're going to be suited up in Tyvek and mask and tearing the siding off that has asbestos in it and getting rid of all that. And then Uncle Leonard's going to start building on the addition for us this probably up until wintertime, and then he'll have to probably take a break. But yeah, finally getting that done, and mix in some fishing for sure in the middle of all that. So if you come up, bring some Tyveks, and I'll even buy the Tyveks for you, and we'll put you all to work.
That's funny. My father-in-law is going to be doing some construction work on my brother-in-law's house this summer on that whole deal. So maybe be giving them a hand with that or hiding. I don't do
that. Daxton's in Michigan too. All right. So
nice.
I don't know if you ever heard of Au Gres, but that's where our little house is up there is in Au Gres. And what was not last year? Was it last year or year before? Year before.
It's 2 years ago now.
Yeah. These guys came up. We had the old fart up there with us. And we all went out fishing. Yeah, Team Hall and Ash. We all went out fishing. It was a good time. We had a great cookout, fish fry.
That was one of the coolest trips. And I got to say, I like the YouTube videos that I did on those to this day. I'm disappointed in how they performed. Right. But I look back and I'm like, well, I didn't do thumbnails and YouTube stuff like I should have on those. But dude, those are some of my favorite videos. And I'm mad at myself for not having, like, I was hanging out and having fun with everybody. I am mad at myself for not having had that camera on 24/7 that entire time. Not
catching any of it. Yeah.
I mean, there was some stuff we didn't want on camera, but I wish I'd had that part on camera too.
Yeah. Rifle River, yeah. Rifle River is by Au Gres. It runs through Omer, the little town Baez, and then the Au Gres River runs through Au Gres. So yeah, I'm familiar with that area. My wife was born and raised up there, and I lived there for a few years in high school before I went and became a professional soldier.
What was the river I was fishing? We got fish like boat wrecks and stuff like that. What was the river that I was fishing when we did the live stream and I was fishing and that guy drove his boat up into the
You were up by Tawas. So that's
Tawas. That's
part of the Osable River, maybe. I think is up there.
Yeah. Beautiful area up there.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. Really pretty.
Yeah.
Danny says the top of my list would be tigerfish. They're truly terrifying. Now we're getting into a different conversation where it's like,
What's a tiger?
honestly, number one on my bucket list, tigerfish is like one of those Amazonian things.
Like the wolffish.
Yeah, or the what's that one? Anything that deer meat for dinner just caught.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Got some big teeth.
Yeah. They're wicked looking.
Yeah.
But that opens up the conversation. So I'll tell you, like, number one with a bullet, not the best conversation to be having, like, on camera and stuff like that. But the number one fish on my bucket list is great white shark, because obviously, and that's not legal. It can be done, but like, if we're starting to get into fishing that you do down in the Amazon and stuff like that, we start opening up these other conversations.
Exactly.
Like, what's your real bucket list?
Yeah, that's true. Goth Farmer says you need to be up in the Pacific Northwest for the best fishing.
You know how hard it is? We've been looking for years for people on the West Coast to come join us on the show and talk. Exactly. They are so hard to find.
The fishermen there aren't.
They're
a lot of YouTube.
Yeah, it's a
you
different.
You want to look at fishing videos. First thing you see is a bunch of Florida. And then you're going to see Texas and then a lot of inshore stuff. But it's hard to find channels out of the West Coast. It's like, do they fish? I know they do, but just, I think for the live stream, maybe it's a time thing. Because 6 o'clock here is like, was it 3 o'clock there on the West Coast? You can tell us.
Yeah, right now is 4:30 West Coast.
Oh, Daxton's talking about your mounts behind you there, Grant.
Yeah, the one in the middle was 2.4 ounce, 2 pounds 4 ounces.
Yeah, we don't have our little names under us anymore. But that's Grant McIntosh. And then Stanley Orchard is on your left as you're looking at the screen, and then of course I'm John with A&J Outdoors.
We've got all the links for everybody in the description down below. Also, so a lot of people, if you're not from here, if you're not from the Discord server, you need to check it out. It's pretty cool. And Grant, on the note of the Discord server, we have a whole section in there for trophies. If you wouldn't mind, I would love some shots of your wall specifically for that chat section.
Yeah, I've been in there. I've seen the trophy section, but
you didn't want to like hurt anyone's feelings.
You need to throw them in there. Heck yeah.
I love that. That's awesome. I appreciate that.
It's been 3 years now since I've gotten anything mounted.
Oh, really? Well,
that's changed that. Me, so. Has it been 3 years since you got that last big buck?
Well, it will be in November. It'll be 3 years in November.
Wow. So you haven't done anything in 3 years? Is that what you're saying?
Basically.
You've had a busy couple of years. I understand, but I tell you what. Not a day goes by. I'm working on a video right now, and I'm going to take a different approach to videos this year. I hope everybody enjoys it, because that's kind of the point. But the video that I'm trying to get together right now, you are such like an integral part of like my process for it. I can't even tell you all the stuff that you're doing with the gardening, the chickens and everything. I've told you several times, like, you're an inspiration for me. There's no way I can come even close to anything you're doing. But it's still an inspiration for like I want to do what you're doing, and I'm going to implement that into the video that's hopefully coming up soon here. We'll see. My work thing is a mess right now.
All right, cool. Hey, I got a quick question for you, Stanley. You're kind of our offshore guy, right? You got more offshore experience than either of us.
That's not what the offshore guys call me. They call me something I can't say on camera, but cool.
But you go out there, you hook a fish, you get it up beside the boat, and maybe you're not sure if it's legal or you're not sure what kind of fish it is. Do you go ahead and just take the gaff and gaff it right in the middle of its body, get it on the boat, on video, get it on the boat and say, oh no, that's a amberjack and it's too small. We thought it was a banded rudder fish, so let's throw it back. And we throw it back after we just gaffed it in the side of its body.
I've experienced this one, and the answer to your question is you don't say banded rudderfish, you say lesser. That's the other species of amberjack. Yeah. That's the legal. No, but like so that's the species that would be legal. But the real answer to that I've seen, we had some questionable amberjack, and the thing is, what you do, and you kind of have to be good at what you're doing. You know, it's not like just any like Joe Schmo can go out there and do this. What you do, take the gaff and very carefully. They're worn out. They're not going to be kicking them all over the place. Very carefully hook them up through the gills into the mouth. Don't hurt anything. Get them through the mouth. Something safe. Get them into the boat that way, so that you can measure them and do what you need to do so that you can release them. There's things you can do to get them in the boat and check them.
I just saw that video today by a very popular couple in Florida, and gaffed it right in the middle of its body, get it on the boat. Oh, that's an amber. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. That's an amberjack.
That's a
All right,
lesser.
let's put it back.
That's where you got to say on there, like, if you're.
That's where I leave it out of the video. If it happened, I mean.
So you leave it out of the video for one.
Yeah.
Next level is where you say that's a lesser. There's the greater amberjack and the lesser amberjack, and a lesser would have been legal. So you can say that's a lesser amberjack, throw it back in different conversations.
I guess they've got a banded rudderfish because they kept two of those, and they look a lot like a small amberjack, and that's what that one they realized was not a banded rudderfish and was not legal, and so they threw it back. But you just stuck a gaff in its side. Its probability of survival is probably pretty slim.
They can.
Yeah, but
that's rough. Yeah. Well, but see, that opens a whole other conversation because, like, you know how they talk about venting all these snapper and stuff?
Yeah.
Dude, those guys are not hitting the bottom.
No,
Okay, so they can. They have a better chance of hitting the bottom. I'm not arguing against venting. But you saw it out there when we were in Houston last year, and we were snapper fishing out of Houston on that party boat. Not one of those fish hit the bottom.
Yeah, probably not. Because
the dolphins were
right there. Now, if you got that descending tool, you got a much better chance to get them down there.
True.
It's a 3-pound weight to lower them down, but
true.
What's up, Rattle Trap? Good to see you, Curtis.
Rattle Trap.
Oh, Rattle Trap's in the house. I haven't seen Rattle Trap in a minute. This is. What do y'all think about putting out videos that aren't on topic with your channel? I like Grant's Garden stuff. My experience is mixed. So, like, I like to grill and stuff. Most of my grilling or cooking videos don't do well at all. You know, my fishing videos do real well. I think of my channel as a fishing channel, but the videos that do the best on my channel are all my boat work videos. From all the stuff I did on Mako, my #1 video, almost 300,000 views now, is that battery system that I set up on the Mako. So the top probably, I think I got close to 200 videos now, and the top 10 or 15 I think are all something I'm doing on the boat. So I don't know. I'm going to keep pushing my fishing because that's what I made the channel for, and that's what I enjoy. But it seems like people that watch my channel enjoy seeing the boat work and don't care about my cooking. They don't give a shit about my barbecue.
Yeah. I'll say my thing, and then we'll let Stanley tell us the analytics side of it. But
yeah,
basically, like for me, I have people that watch my fishing and hunting videos. When I made worm videos, I had people that watch my worm videos. When I make my garden videos, there's a few people that watch the fishing videos that watch the garden videos, and a few people that watch my worm videos that watch the garden videos. But like my most popular video is how to set up the Tacticam. You know, that's something people are searching for.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
And it just depends what you want out of your channel, Danny. You know, the people that want to watch a video about your guitar is going to watch it.
Yeah.
People that don't aren't.
Yeah, go in Stanley's channel and go way back to the beginning of his videos, and you'll see some
embarrassing
videos.
The whiskey sessions.
Yeah, I want to do some more of those just for fun. So it's very appropriate that I go third in this discussion because I don't know if you guys know this, but as far as who has the biggest videos, I'm third on that list. Do you guys know that? I have yet to catch you guys on biggest video.
I didn't know.
I'm trying.
I didn't know that.
John's blowing us both away then.
And it's that battery one. I'm still getting thousands of views a month on that dang video that's now 5 years old.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
He said his number 2 is a crawfish bowl, and I know the exact video because I watched that, and that got me motivated to do a crawfish. I did shrimp bowl instead of crawfish because the wife and everybody likes shrimp better. But yeah, I see you guys out there doing that. I'm like, God, I gotta do that myself. So.
Oh man, I need to do that next time we go offshore and trade beer for shrimp.
Yeah.
So my 2 cents on this from an analytics and YouTube point of view is, so what we're talking about is growth, because if you're just talking about making videos on YouTube, you make whatever the hell you want. You enjoy your channel, it's your channel. And you don't do something just because somebody else tells you need to do something. Right. If you're looking from a pure growth standpoint, the kind of best practice would be you have that channel driving kind of content, like John's got his the boat work videos. So that you take that channel driver content and that's what you focus on. And that's like 60 to 80% of your videos. 20% of your videos are money makers. That's where you're going to push affiliate links, merchandise, money making stuff, Patreon, whatever the case may be. And then 5% of your videos are yours. I don't care how professional you are. 5% of your videos, you get to do whatever the hell you want. Even in a professional circumstance, you still get to enjoy your channel. You get to enjoy being a YouTube content creator, and you are not going to hurt a damn thing putting out a guitar video. I would highly encourage you to do so. It would be fun for the audience. There's nothing wrong with having some fun.
Yeah, I agree. And you'll know once you do it, right? Do it once or twice, you'll just look at your analytics. It's like, well, my people don't give a shit about my guitar, but maybe that brings in some new viewers who do give a shit. So,
yeah.
And you
follow a guy right now who's doing he's rebuilding a Grady White. So that's why I started following him. The $10 Grady White. He bought the boat for $10, and he's stringers, the whole 9 yards. He's doing on his own. But he also has a Corvette that he's rebuilding, and that's has a video set on that. He's got one on his RV, right? He's got one on his property where they live, and they built a new garage and all that. And so I watch the boat video. Something pops up, it's his, and it's about the boat, I watch it. If it's about the Corvette or something else that I'm not interested, I don't watch it. And that's kind of how he is. He knows certain people watch the boat videos, certain people watch but he gets views on all of them. So I think, like Stanley said, try it, see what happens.
You're not going to hurt anything by trying.
Right.
Yeah, somebody might find your guitar video that likes fishing too. So
yeah,
there will be a correlation there. Yeah, it's not going to be the greatest thing for growth, but that doesn't matter. That's not the important thing.
Yeah.
Jumping into it, gentlemen. Oh yeah,
I agree.
God, Farmer, you have excellent taste, by the way. We need to talk about one other thing here before we get moving into our other thing. That slob.
Wow.
It's a big one.
That is an insane fish.
Pending world record, IGFA world record.
Right up the street from John and I.
Yeah. If you guys have been on the live streams with us the last couple months, we've talked about OH Ivie
2-3 times
because they're having these lunkers, the Texas share lunkers. They're getting 10+ pounders left and right at it. Like I think they're up to like 18 of them now, and there's a big 12+ pound line class potential world record right there. That young lady. So that's pretty awesome. That's a huge fish. And the day before, she caught her personal best, which was just over 10 pounds.
Yeah, that little guy.
Yeah, a little 10-pounder. And then she hooked into that dang thing.
The one, she was probably taking pictures with that thing. Did you see that that shorts video I put out earlier with where you have the little Ken doll hands that hold the fish? She's probably holding that bass up with them hands.
That's a beautiful fish. What a gut on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's no editing on that at all. That's straight out of whatever fishing magazine I'm sure she just made the cover of.
Yeah.
That thing's insane. So the actual record on that, I don't recall, but the poundage, it was, 11, 12 pounds, and she caught it on...
Over 12 pounds.
Over 12 pounds.
Yeah.
So the record on this is that she caught it with Seagar 10-pound test line. And this is a 12-pound class fish record that she set, and 10-pound Seagar, which I love Seagar, even though I pronounce it wrong. I use Seagar myself. But their 10-pound line is actually rated to 12 pounds. So that's how that's how they're verifying the record on that.
Yeah, they had to actually clip some of the line and send it in to the IGS so they could test it and verify that it was a 12-pound capability, even though it's listed as a 10-pound line. So pretty impressive. I mean, that if you're a bass fisherman and you're somewhere around Texas, you might want to make yourself a trip to that lake. And it's down almost 25 foot. But a lot of our lakes are like that right now, and they're still putting out good fish.
And that guy's still in it, right? He's still swimming around in the lake.
Yeah. I think they're catching.
They're releasing them.
Get them because they got a weight station right there at the lake, and then they take them back and drop them in the water.
It's crazy.
Hooked up back. Oh, I'll let John. I don't reveal fishing spots. I'll let John.
Ivie, Ivie, and it's up by San Angelo.
They've produced. This is the 9th. What is it? Lunker class. Fish.
Sure.
Out of there.
Yeah. Yeah, that lake has been killing it this year.
Got some big fish in it.
Yeah. No other lake in Texas has produced as many as that lake.
I'm curious. So I don't get to do a lot of bass fishing. Grant, like, what's the biggest ones you've ever got?
23 inches. I'm guessing between that 6 and 7 pound.
Legacy class. Yeah. That kicks the absolute crap out of anything I've caught freshwater. Period.
My biggest was 4 pounds out of Choke Canyon. There's big bass in Choke too, if you're targeting bass.
Yeah, me and my brother-in-law were fishing the local lake, and I caught 3 in a row on a buzz bait and some lily pads. That was like 22, 22 and a half, and 23.
That's a good day.
I don't know if it was back-to-back cast, but it was, within a 10-minute period.
That's a good day.
Yeah.
5.5 for hooked up and backlash.
But yeah, we didn't have a scale, and we just threw them back.
Yeah, I kept scale on the boat just for that reason.
Yeah, this was back years ago when I just had a little 2-man plastic boat. I mean, that's had to be at least 15 years, if not close to 20 years ago.
Danny, that thing could eat my personal best. Yep, mine too.
It's a big bass. Sheesh.
What's up, Mr. Castellucci?
Caught some with what? Tell us a secret bait or what?
I'm trying to avoid the conversation on like size for like bass and stuff like that because mine are spawn compared to this, compared to what you guys are talking about.
You're saltwater. Right. One of you guys caught bass up there, right? When you were up in Au Gres on the river there, out there on those jetties.
Yeah. So, I caught a big catfish, but while we were out on that jetty, this is one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life. And then we got to get to another conversation here, but one of the coolest things I ever saw in my life, Grant hooked into a bass, and then it broke the line or something like that, and it was running off. There was 2 instances of this. It was running off with the float, and so he was whipping his other rod around to hook that float. I just thought that was like one of the most wicked things I'd ever seen. The other one was he'd lost one. It was either Grant or his wife Janet lost one, and the guy on the other side of the jetty caught it, and it came back with their lure. And so it was me, Grant, my wife, Grant's wife Janet, and my daughter, and we sat there and we had a little huddle. We're like, okay, we're gonna kick this guy's ass. We want our lure back. I think we actually did that in the video too. I think we had that whole thing where we went up and confronted the guy. Just, had fun with it.
A 5-pound smallmouth. That's a big one.
Yeah, I'd say the biggest smallmouth I've caught is probably 2.5, maybe 3 pounds.
Yeah, same. We're probably a couple pounds.
All right, gentlemen, we got a couple of questions, and everybody in the chat, we need your help with this. There's some questions that we got in the Premier Discord server, link in the description down below. First off, we got Bestuvian. What is the most humane way of dispatching a fish? And I got these graphics on here just real quick to give you some insight on to 3 things that I have to say about that. For one, you can poke a spike into these X marks right here on the fish. That goes right to the brain, kills them instantly. Yeah. On tuna, it's good to bleed them on that red mark right behind the pectoral fin. And then on sharks and just about any fish, I assume, you see on this third picture here, you've got the vein behind, like that runs back into the tail. You can actually cut right at the base of the tail, right up into the blue, I guess the blue part's a vein or an artery. I don't know. I think that's an artery. Anyway, you can cut that, and that is going to dispatch the fish. I think this is an important conversation because it is nice to be respectful. And that's my 2 cents on that. Does anybody else have any 2 cents? I know people use like a beat stick and stuff sometimes too.
Yeah, club them.
Club them.
I like the idea of braining them and then bleeding them too.
Yeah, I agree.
The quality of the meat, but I've seen people club them. But then plenty of times throw them in the cooler, and then by the time we get to the cleaning station, they're usually already expired, which I guess maybe not be the most humane way, but especially catfish, they're still alive by the time you get to the cleaning station.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not the best person to ask. I'd say
Me either.
99% of the time I'm filleting them alive, so I'm sorry.
So we'll club. We actually have a shotgun for some species that will take to take care of that. You know what I'll say is so I'm going to dispatch my fish most of the time. I try to be cognizant of that because I don't want to be that guy. Not always, sometimes in situations where I need fresh bait, that really sucks, and I try to be good. But sometimes, I'm not. That's just the way it goes. But I will say one thing that kind of bothers me is that they don't have eyelashes, and I get migraines, and it bothers me when they're sitting on, like, when they're like laying on the deck of the boat for a minute, and I'm like, man, they might be getting a migraine with that eye that they can't block the sun. That's the part that really bothers me. I don't mind putting them in ice and letting them like go into shock that way. But the idea of that poor fish getting a migraine drives me up the wall.
Migraines.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never heard such a thing.
I hate migraines, dude. They suck.
I imagine Audrey has dealt with those, and from seeing what she goes through, I'm glad I'm a wimp, man. If a regular headache takes me out, so a migraine, I would probably be at the ER.
Yeah.
Anybody in the? So Danny says he brains them. Gill and
gut. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man, I don't even want to think about like spear fishing, like those poor guys. I actually like if I'm spear fishing spade fish or something, I'll cuddle them. I feel bad about that because sometimes it gets kind of ugly.
I've seen spear fishermen, once they get them in their hands, they'll take out their dive knife and they'll brain them right there in the water.
I should do that. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of hard when you got a bunch of intestines wrapped around your spear.
I'll be sailing around southern Italy and Sicily for the next couple of weeks. I want to try fishing.
This is Haddis from earlier. So Haddis is new. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Going on a sailing trip around southern Italy and Sicily for the next couple of weeks. Wants to learn fishing and doesn't know anything about it. Needs some direction. If you are going on this trip, how are you going to learn on this? My first advice is stay. Hey, Haddis. Yeah, he's still Haddis. Still in the chat. Thank you for hanging in there with us. So going to try to answer this to the best of our ability. First off, hang in there with the Discord server because this is going to be a very hard question to answer in this kind of time frame. We're happy to help you out with anything that we can. At the very least, we're going to put you in the direction of like the people you need to be talking to, the things you need to be trying, the equipment that you need, that sort of thing.
Personally, if I'm traveling somewhere like that, just like I did when we went to Jamaica or Cozumel, I'm going to look up a local guide, look at the reviews, and then you don't have to worry about having your own equipment. You don't have to worry about they're going to take you out, hopefully put you on fish, prepare the fish for you, clean it, right, typically, and then you take it and eat it, and you can learn. Some aren't as good as others, but most of the time you're gonna be able to observe the whole process of how they're doing it, because they're gonna troll, or depending on maybe bottom fish, depending on where you're at. But yeah, for me, especially in some place I've never fished before, probably one of the first things I do if I got the money for it is find a local guide to go fishing.
Yeah. Yeah, if you got the money, definitely.
Yeah.
See if you can have somebody take you. If not, cheapest little rod and reel setup you can get, and like Danny said, put some meat on it. Get a worm or a cricket or grasshopper, whatever they're selling over that way that you can use live bait. Or
says there's a ton of perch and sea bream. Whatever is small in the vicinity of the area that you're in is gonna work. Like there's gonna be something eating it. The trick is gonna be, you're not gonna catch fish on every single cast because you're not at that point yet. You haven't learned all that stuff. But that doesn't mean you can't catch fish. You can definitely catch fish just by putting, like Danny said, just meat on a hook, just dropping it down there. You'll get something.
Yeah.
Talk to the guides, talk to the bait stands, talk to the people in the Discord server, hang out with us. If you have any questions, keep them coming. We're happy to help you out in the Discord server here, wherever, it doesn't matter. We'll get you all the information we can. You will get fish.
Yeah.
He's going to try fishing off the back of the boat. That's awesome. Yeah, get a license. Make sure.
Yeah, that's a good point. If you're going on one of those charters, typically if they don't get you the license, they tell you how to get it.
Yeah. Next up here, we have our photos of the week. So we need everybody. Well, check this out. Everybody had an amazing weekend last weekend. We're going to be talking about your next weekend here in just a moment. But before we do that, let's take a look and see what everybody else has been enjoying. This is courtesy of the Premier Fishing and Hunting Discord server. Link in the description down below. If you're not a member, you need to be, because this is the kind of fun that we are having in there. First off, a moment of zen, courtesy of all these guys who are getting outside. And even if they're not fishing and catching fish, they're having a blast doing it, and I'm enjoying just seeing what they got. Daxton, have an ultralight rod for panfish. What bait should I use? I'm going to say waxworms.
Waxworms, red worms, just about any kind of worm.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you can't get worms or minnows or something like that, then get you a little crappie jig or rooster tail, something like that.
Yeah.
Beetle spin.
Yeah, all good choices.
Try it all. Yeah, you're not going to go wrong. Dude, panfish, they eat everything. You can literally just drop a colored jig.
Small enough and the hook small enough. Yeah.
Yep.
Some sweet pictures.
Dude, we got some good ones this week. I can't even go over everybody's name. I'll try.
Grant McIntosh.
Yeah, Grant, I got you in there, dude. I did not get the chicken thing set up, but your chickens are looking awesome, man.
It's all good. Yep. We've made it 5 nights now. We still have.
I like that. Tigers fan has been adamant. I seriously think that Tigers fan is going out fishing simply to get pictures in the server. So kudos for the work he's been putting in.
Yeah, no doubt.
Looks like smallmouth.
Yeah, a couple smallmouth, couple trout,
pike, trout.
Pike.
We don't have Wild Japan in here tonight, but obviously Wild Japan's always got amazing photos. And that's just a shot of a canal, like right there in Japan where he's at.
That's cool.
G-Lama.
Oh.
I love those shots of just like the action on the rod. This poor guy, he's in Australia. He is working his butt off to try to get fish, but they're in the middle of winter, so he's having such a hard time with it. I feel for the guy. He's trying, though, man. He puts in solid labor trying to get his fish. And these other guys, just awesome. Trout. Yeah, good trout, a couple of good bass, carp. Odd M. I know that's really, really small, but he's got a. We'll take a look at that in just a second. He's got a really cool little fillet board full of all those awesome things you find in Florida.
Yeah, it looks like one of them looks like a hogfish. Nice.
There's me with the 45 common. Daxton, which one of them are you?
The one that says Dax. That's a big.
Yeah, with the carp.
Ah, okay.
The green light one.
I thought that might be the case earlier. I forgot that Dax was your photo was on here. I was wondering if that was you though. Good catch.
Yeah, that's a nice one. Night fishing for some carp.
Awesome photo too. I like the lighting on that. Mystic, who is our current photographer of the week, managed to get out for another solid run. And anytime you're getting snapper, jailbirds, and pompano like that, plus things like parrotfish and stuff, yeah, you're creating a lot of envy. I'll put it lightly like that.
That's African pomp, right? The big one.
I don't think it's an African. The Africans have the big long fins that go out like a lot longer, kind of like a look down. I think that's just a regular pompano.
If that's a regular like we have, that's the biggest pompano I've ever seen.
It's a massive pompano. Yeah. Well, there's the other one too, like they have in Mexico. I forget what it's called, like a pomfret that's similar.
Yeah, it's not a permit. I don't know. He needs to be here on the live stream. We're going to show his picture.
Yeah, right. I could use a little more information on that. Addis says, I just looked it up. I don't need a license for saltwater fishing in Italy.
Nice.
So, gentlemen, I know where we're going when we make it big. I know where we're all going.
Going to Italy.
Italy. Okay, Dax got that common carp with the bow. So he's bow fishing.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay.
Goth Farmer, let's talk. I got some spearfishing stuff for you. Done a little bit of that. This is Rich. This is my father-in-law on the left. He went out with a buddy of his, and they got into a ton of reds, a ton of trout. He wasn't even taking pictures of everything. But Bobby, his friend here, took him out, got himself a slam on the trip.
Yep, Texas slam.
That's always worth a you always got to take a close look at that. That's a rare occurrence right there, being able to catch a slam.
Yep, flounder, trout, and red.
Yep.
That's nice.
People travel to Texas just to catch those three species. And Rich, by the way, we're going to go ahead and cut this slide short because I'm jealous.
All right, here we go.
The Photographer of the Week 2023 Wall of Fame. Of course, last week we added Mystic, who caught themselves a massive calf top, made it onto the list. Guys, seriously, join the Discord server, get your photos in, because we have a contest going right now. Whoever makes this list for the first half of the year, obviously we're going to have another thing for the next half of the year, but whoever makes this list is going to be into a contest for a lot of fun stuff. There's all the stuff on the Discord. Check it out. I promise you, it's going to be cool. This is what we're running with this week. We have Tigers Fan with that nice little trout. Mystic with the pomfret, pompano, whatever. That massive, nice catch that we all want our hands on. Odd M with a just awesome selection of everything that's wonderfully tasting out of Florida. And, of course, Daxton, I got you on here with that nice 45. Everybody in the chat, let us know now. Who needs to be added to the 2023 Wall of Fame?
Yes.
So I'm going to go ahead and get my vote in there early.
You know what?
I usually do, but I got to make that big so I can see them better. Even.
I'm going to join you on that. I feel the same.
I mean, it's a sweet picture. Got it with the bow at night. He's in the chat. I mean, it's just.
I was a little on the fence, but I'm kind of, I kind of feel this. I like that. I like that trout because I don't have one yet.
You got me there. I'm in too.
Ben, you got great
taste. That's our first bow fishing fish on the wall, right?
True.
If it makes it.
Yeah.
Mind you, everybody in the chat and everybody who's watching this, like if you're still making it this far, watching it no longer live, I want you to be aware of something. This is your 2023 Wall of Fame, and I'm going to make more reference. I'm going to have more information on that in the future, but be aware. You want the absolute best looking photo going into the 2023 Wall of Fame. I promise you. Because if you are going to be on that wall, you want to be up there with the best looking photos, because we have some really fun things that are going to be coming a little bit later in this year. You need to vote now for you need to be here for the live streams. Vote now for the absolute best looking photo that you got here. I promise you it will benefit you in the future.
Great. And with that,
think that's it, man. It looks like we have Dax. You were the winner this week in an absolute runaway with a really cool shot. I love the carp. I love the bow fishing. I love the night. Everything you're doing, keep it going, man. That's awesome.
You crushed it.
Yep. Congratulations on a fantastic fishing trip, and congratulations and welcome to the 2023 Wall of Fame.
Yep. All right, we're pushing it now. You got us against the wall here, Stanley.
That is it. It's that time. Yeah, we got to shut her down. So let us know now. What are you going to be doing this weekend? We're going to be holding you accountable in the chat. Let us know. What have you got going on? Gentlemen, before we close this thing down, what are you going to be doing this weekend?
I need to make a chicken video and a garden video between now and next week, apparently. So,
and go fishing.
And try to go fishing.
Yeah.
You're busy.
If the weather was like it was today, it'd been perfect. I should have went fishing on the live stream because it's beautiful out there.
That would have been cool.
Nice and calm.
Yeah, definitely. Boat Works, and if anybody's been paying attention, I got a new project. I got a motor that won't start. So now I got to do some motor work, but I got a pretty good lead on what I'm looking at, starter or starter solenoid. I just got to have time to get out there and tear it apart and get to it. So that might even be a video. I don't know. We'll see.
Nice.
We got Garth Farmer is going to a rabbit show. That is awesome for your channel. Good luck. I look forward to seeing what you're doing with that. I look forward to hearing from you on that. Some content on the channel with the rabbit show. Daxton, really appreciate it. Absolutely appreciate you, sir. Going to try to go out and get more with the bow. Looking forward to seeing that, man. Bring them our way. I want to see what you got because I'm living vicariously through you and everything that you're doing.
Absolutely.
I've got some fun things coming, but I'm going to let my channel describe that one. We'll talk about it now because I know we're on borrowed time. Guys, have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for joining us this week. We really, really appreciate you being around here, and we look forward to seeing everything that you are doing next week when we go live Tuesday. Have a wonderful weekend. And yeah, that's it. We'll catch you next time, guys.
Peace out.